Hello, BUS 1440, document production. Hope all is well with you and your families. This session, we are going to do the placement exam in GDP. The placement exam in GDP. And we are going to look at some information in Learning Unit 1. Learning Unit 1. So you get an idea where all of the information is at. So here we go. The screen is up. I'm logged in. So I'm going to Learning Unit 1. So with Learning Unit 1, it comes up and letting you know about WebEx. That look at your schedule because the schedule may change because it's subject to change, and therefore here's your WebEx resources. You will click that and then join the session that is being offered. And just know, with your sessions being offered, if you need a private consultation or so forth or meeting, remember, you can request a session and then we can get you on the schedule. Before you begin, make sure you look at this video. It will definitely help you with it before you begin with your syllabus, printing the syllabus, reading the syllabus, finding your QEP project form. Complete only the top portion. It should be on page 17, 18, and if not 16, 17, and you're completing the top portion of that. Save it. The initial assignment will usually be around midterm. Your usual assignment for your QEP will be around midterm, so be aware of that. Okay, so just know you can submit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 documents on one submission, so you don't have to keep going back, uploading and uploading. So once again, before a BUS 1440 document production, take your quiz for the syllabus, read your syllabus, print your syllabus, your QEP project, and your SMART measures. SMART measures are your career assessment aptitude test, which is free, as well as your skill matcher. All of that information is free. You locate it and you find it, and that's in the before you begin session. So just know the 3 dots here, because I'm using Google Chrome, for you to print, you will click on print, and then it come up save as PDF. Mine's already set there, and it will save all of the 6 pages and so forth. All of the 6 pages. That's how you save your document in PDF format, printable, datable format that you can upload in the Dropbox for me. Going over that preliminary information. Welcome to GDP. Look at your resources in there. That's helpful. Your orientation to GDP. Very good information because it's a PowerPoint slide, so look at that. Here is your assessment. This is how your assessments will look. If it has question marks by it, that means I will grade it. You will have 50 questions that you are to complete. You will have a time writing that you need to complete. Time writing, do it 2 times. Your questions 50, you only do that 1 time, and then you will have 3 documents that you will need to correct. 3 documents that you will need to correct, and it should have 5 errors or less to get credit. 5 errors or less to get credit, and that's your test 2 3-minute timer. So this is how it will look. Here is your GDP document grading code, the GDP document grading code. So here it says, if the color is black, all of the typing information is correct. That means you did everything in the document correct. You got your margins correct. You got your tabs correct. You got your spacing correct. But if the color is blue, type information when it comes up, that means that you have inserted some information that should not be there. Remove it. Remove it. See, inserted incorrect words, delete. Okay? If it's the color green information, that means that you have omitted some information within the document. You've omitted some information within the document. And if the color is red, that means it's a misstroke. It could be spelling, it could be a comma, be transposing, grammar, and so forth. So remember your colors. Black, correct. Blue, you inserted something that you shouldn't have. Green means that you omitted something that you need to add, and red means it's a misstroke. So here is your videos. Your video for Unit 5, Lesson 21. It's going to walk you through everything. So remember, when you're doing my Unit 5, lessons 21 through 25, this is foundational information. It's foundational. So foundations means that you're learning concepts, what's tabs, you're learning what your margin is, you're learning that indentions, you're learning about spacing, formats of business reports, and so for all of that. So you're getting the foundation of the software, meaning Microsoft Word, that you will be using with GDP and so forth. So when you start doing your practice documents, please don't be alarmed if the document comes up blank, or if it's just your name on there or one or two words. That's fine, because it walks you through steps in your practice documents that's located in GDP, and it's on your top tier on where it says lessons, skill buildings, typing, but it is your word manual and so forth where those practice documents are at. And then your lessons 25, which is a practice document that it walks you through and it shows you how the information flows and how you are to correct it and so forth. Your student resources is information. That is very good for you. It tells you about if you're unable to get into Blackboard, how to use the information. It tells you how to create a PDF, how to actually save a Word document. So look in here. It has very good information and so forth that will help you. The videos will help you as well too. It tells you about your virtual hour sessions and more. Your type tests. That means that you can increase your speed by practicing on your typing test, which is a third-party software. Type Racer. That means you're going to compete against someone live. So here's the Unit 1 that we're going into. So remember, if it looks like a link here, that means it's going to take you to a website. You click on it, and as a hand comes up, it takes you to a link. If it's a book and so forth, you click on it, here's the link. Notice your due dates, and so forth. So you are to register for GDP. So when you register for your GDP, it gives you your name, first name, last name. Use your Savannah Tech email address, your student number, and so forth. And it's going to make sure you use a username and a password. So please remember to write them down, because I don't have that information. And when you click it, it's going to almost appear that it didn't do anything, but it did. And if it says you've already been created, you have. So don't recreate it again. Click off and go back in, and then you can go in with your username and password, and you should be okay. You should be okay. So the next thing it says, you take your placement assessment, which is placement exam B, and you need to have 25 words with 3 errors with 3 minutes. 25 words, 3 minutes with 3 errors or less. You have your video lectures, presentations that you can go through and look at, and then it says do your discussion board and questionnaire. So here I'm clicking on the link. I'm going into the link, so I can do it 2 ways. I can click these little areas where the hands is at and it walks you through, or I can pan through page 1 through 10. So I'm panning through. So and it repeats the same information. Here is your typing video that you can look at. Here is how to improve your typing videos that you can look at. Here is your placement exam, and it tells you 25 words, 3 minutes, 3 errors, and so forth. But see the attachment placement B. Here it is. There it is. So when you click on it, that's what you're going to download. That's what we are going to download. So I'm going to pan through so we can come back. So next thing you know, it actually has your orientation, and it gives you information that you can go and look at your orientation. That's your PowerPoint slide. And then here's more information, how to register in GDP. It gives you an example how to register in GDP. This one says, welcome to GDP, as it comes up. And here is the information in PDF format, printable, datable format, that you can actually look at the 33 pages, and it walks you through how to do the information, and if you need help, technical support, and so for keyboarding success. So this gives you good highlighted information that you could take your time and read over, and it shows you what the book is about and the class is about. New key demonstration. Time writings you will have. You will have enriched pages where it tells you to read the information from lessons 1 through 10 and 20. Skill building information. Your 10 key numeral pad. It has your maps. That's with your miss strokes. And that's to help you build your understanding and your confidence in typing without looking. That's your maps. That's what your maps, your misstrokes and so forth comes into. And there are still more maps that you're working on: alphabets, numbers, and symbols. Alphabets, numbers, and symbols. It gives you a prescription once you do a pretest, and you will have those periodically as you go through your units. And when I say your units, it could be from 1 to 40, meaning that's the BUS 1100 or the BUS 1440, which is unit 521 all the way to 120. 21 all the way to 120. You got time writings, you got language arts that you will be doing. This is your reference manual, the reference manual and so forth that you can go through and find information to say how to set up a memo, how to set up a business letter, how to do resume information and so forth. That's all built in this software as well too. And your MyGDP. Your MyGDP is your student portfolio. And what your student portfolio has, all the things that you've done, whether it's time writing, skill buildings, language arts, documents, everything that you've done in GDP, it gives it a time, a date. It stamps it for you. It tells you when you do it, and it will give you a grade. It will give you a grade. You have resources that's built in the software. If you click it, you should be able to see the placement exam B in there that you can download from there if you don't see it in Blackboard. You got messages. This is your placement exam here, and then my information. Your information is like your username and your password that you need to keep up with. Document processing. These are the actual exercises that you will do, and you will have practice documents as well as documents that you will leave in GDP, which is your correspondence like 30 through 17. But all of your practice documents, you will find them in GDP, but you will upload them in Blackboard once you complete them for a grade. Here is what I was telling you about your color coding. Key strokes error. Insert meaning blue. Incorrect word, delete, halt. Omission, omit the word. Insert development. Misstrokes, typo, correct mixstrokes, and so forth. Formatting assistance, so it has all the information that you will need to be successful, so you can pan through and look at the rest of the information, and it is very helpful. So now back off to go to Blackboard. So the next thing is your questionnaire. It says, where's your questionnaire? It's located right here. You download your questionnaire, answer the questions, save it, upload it also in Blackboard as well as email it to me. Upload it in Blackboard as well as email it to me as well. And then the last thing you will have is your actual introduction, and then you will click to launch, and then you will type your information about your introduction. So now let's go back and let's look at your key assessment. So I'm going to click my download. I got my document, so it's downloading. So now I'm going off to go to GDP. I go to GDP and I click GDP once again. So now I'm going to do my placement exam. This is the placement exam that I'm going to be working on. It comes up my GDP. Here's your resources that I told you that's in here. So if you haven't got your book, you got lessons 1 through 60 that you can look through and it'll help you. And logging onto Blackboard is alternative just in case Blackboard goes down, required assignments, and so forth. It has all of that information that you click on it and it will give you those resources. These are messages and so forth. You can message to me through email. We can do a virtual session and so forth. You can call as well, 912-484-6631, 912-484-6631, but we can do a virtual session. Here's your placement exams. Here's your placement exams. And I'm choosing B. I'm choosing the B. And then I will click begin. So I have 3 minutes and you will do this twice. You will do this twice. So where's my document at that was downloaded? Here's my document. This is the document that I downloaded from Blackboard. So therefore, if you type paragraph 1, 2, 3 and you finish and the 3 minutes is not up, start back all over again. Start back all over again. So what you do, you press tab and then you keep typing all the way till you get to costly and press period. Press enter, tab again and start with away and so forth. So now let's look at the document and we will do the time writing for this particular placement so you can have an idea and what it looks like. Okay, so here's the time writing. I'm going to start it, tab, and go as slow as possible. This is not a, oh, type as fast as you can. Make sure that you are looking at the information to have accuracy. So the goal is accuracy. Your speed will come. The goal is accuracy. Your speed will come. So now, and I'm typing up and I'm being careful to make sure. See, I am backspacing, so you can backspace because it does count every backspace and everything in there, but take your time, get relaxed, read your document beforehand, because this will help you be successful not only in this time writing, but also when you get ready to do your documents as well too. Read through the information because it has good little nuggets in how to help complete a memo, how to help complete a legal document, a medical document, and so forth. So it's really guiding you on the information that is housed in the literature and so forth. So remember, take your time, read the information. Remember that this is a marathon. It is not a sprint, because the more you take your time to be successful learning the information and get foundational in it, guess what? The better you will be. Better that you will be able to not only help yourself but somebody else and so forth, and then give them a better pathway. And so that's the goal, to always take your time, learn your information, be confident, ask your questions, and when you're asking your questions, just know that, hey, the goal is to learn while I'm in school, because this is what school is for learning. And so once you get on your great career and so forth, you have a good understanding of how information works, how people works, how to navigate and be successful, not only in your personal life but also in your business world, in your medical world, and so forth. And you see I started my second paragraph and so forth, and I'm taking my time, but 3 minutes is not up, to make sure that the writer, so I'm just is well informed before writing it. There are a number of factors to consider. The writer will learn that report. So now I'm finished. So I'm not going to do it again. So I click off and I'm going to look at my results. I'm going to end the test, and let's see what my results is. So I go to my GDP, and let's see, I have 100%, okay, but I've done the exam several times, 12 times. I have 40 words with one error. 40 words with one error. You can click on details and it will show you the details and say 3 minutes and so forth. And it will show you the next one, okay? So that's your information to do your time writing. But look at all of the time that I've done these documents. So it records it. It's going to show you the information and so forth. It's going to show you that I was skill building. See that? It says skill building. This is an actual box table that I worked on, and it took me 33 minutes and so forth. So when I click on this little drop down arrow, it shows you that I had 7 attempts. But look how many times that I did it. I did it one time, had one error. 2 times, no error, and so forth. But on my 7th attempt, you can click on details, and it shows you the details. So look at the error key. Correct means black. Insert, error, blue. Omission, green. Stroke is red. So when you go through your document, you can see the colors, and that lets you know what you need to correct. That's how. But then you can also print it, but you could also click and look at it in Word as well too, so you can see the original document. So here's the original document that I did earlier, so you can get an idea in how it looks and so forth. Here's the document that I did. It's GDP Unit 16, and it's lesson 76.27. It's a table. So that is just a highlighter of information that you guys will be exposed to when you start on the information in GDP. So one more last thing I want to show you is your GDP. So click OK. Here's your word manual. See, here's your lessons. Part 1, meaning Unit 1 to 4. Then you have a test. Part 2. When you see the green check marks, that means everything is done in those units, and then you have a test. So it comes up outcome 2, and then you have an objective. That's what you will be doing. Outcomes 2 and objective, no alternative. So when I click on this learning unit of number 5, unit 5, lesson 21 through 25, it gives you, hey, word processing and email, which is your foundation, and then you can pan through, read your information. And here, this is not open yet, but at the bottom you will see page numbers. Let's look at one and see page numbers. It will tell you on what page just you should be doing. Okay, so none of them is open yet, but see here your check marks, and that's unit 9 to 12, and then you got a test. Okay, and you can pan through. So all of this information, meaning skill buildings, maps, time writings, language art, is housed in your lessons. So you don't have to click these individually if you don't choose to, but they are located in your lessons. When you go from next to previous, all that information is located there. Here's your part 4, unit 13 all the way to 16, then the tests. Okay, part 5, unit 17 all the way to 20, a test, and then unit 6, part 6, unit 21 through 24, then a test. Here's your practice documents information. Here's your practice documents information. Here's that reference information that we was looking at earlier. And if you click on it, it will show you how a block business letter look. It will show you about a business letter in modified block style. It gives you the preliminary information and so forth. How you press enter 5 times. Type your date. Press enter 4 times. Type your inside address. Press enter 2 times, and you have a subject line. Press enter 2 times, then you start typing your business letter and so forth. Okay, and then you can go to here, This is getting started, and this is where your practice documents will start. It tells you what attention, help, and tips and hands-on, download files, go to textbook, reference. Make sure you read everything. L stands for lesson, R stands for reference manual, WM stands for word manual, GDP stands for Greg document processing in the course software. Here it talks about point, click, double click, drag, right click, select. This is all foundational information that you will go through when you get doing your practice documents. Once you start going through your practice documents, so you will start off with 21, and it tells you GDP, start your word. Okay, then it will walk you through. Here's your practice documents that you got 1 through 7, 7 different little sections that it will walk you through using the start work in your lessons tab, document 1. Your start work, lessons tab, document 1, and it's going to walk you through all this. What's the quick access toolbar? Point to it, tell me, share option, ribbon display, and so forth. And it's going to continue, and see how it continues, and it says keep this document open and continue reading. So the next commands you're going to go through from the ribbon, choosing commands, and what commands you got: bold, you got italicize, underline, you got strike through, and so forth, and it walks you through that. So here is the steps in the practice documents. That's what you will be doing 1 through 6. The next section goes through your mini toolbar, so it's continually walking you through until you get to number 7. So make sure you read your information. Make sure you read your information. And these are your practice documents that you will go through and start doing. So here's my lesson 21. So part 2, 21. And so you click on 21. So here is the practice document 21E. Processing. Getting started with orientations to word processing A. So it walks you through that. So that's a little snippet for going over preliminary information in your Unit 1, completing assignments such as your questionnaire, your introduction, your placement, signing up for GDP, giving you a highlight of how the software looks and work with your lessons, skill building, your maps, time writing, language arts, your word manual, and reference manual. So hopefully this helps. Be well and stay safe.